Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler videos, series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This is going to end up on my ramen reviews playlist, which is a playlist for just sort of instant food stuff. Started out just as ramen, and now it's moved into other things like this particular product. But we'll get into that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room today, which means we get the Peter Can Thunderbolt poster behind me. Look at it, it's so shiny. It's Peter Can Thunderbolt poster. Do you have a Peter Can Thunderbolt poster? I bet you don't, but if you do, let me know in the comments, because that'd be awesome. Aside from that, I'm doing something else, folks. What is it? I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my cold Year of the Spider Anniversary Tour shirt. Yay! I got this last year in 2023 when, they did a full tour for the anniversary of their album Year of the Spider. Probably their, biggest commercially successful album that they've ever put out. If you're unfamiliar with the band Cold, they've been around actually since the 80s. Originally, they were a band called Grundig, and then they, eventually, sort of rebranded into Cold. Definitely had their biggest period of success in the late 90s, early 2000s. Kind of got a little bit of a boost from Limp Bizkit, who they're friends with. But I personally think they're an absolutely phenomenal band. I think that the lead singer, Scooter Ward, I think he is an incredible vocalist and also an extremely underappreciated lyricist. I actually have a number of videos of their performances that I've attended. They're on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check those out. If nothing else, be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're really awesome. But anyway, what am I trying for today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it going to end up on my ramen review playlist, even though it's not exactly ramen? It's boom! It's instant spaghetti stuff from somebody called Winiary. Winiary? Winiary. Winiary. Winiary spaghetti Napoli. Yeah, it's instant spaghetti. I mean, okay. One of the things that's been kind of neat through doing these ramen reviews is that, like I said, originally they started out just as the ramen reviews, but they've transitioned into so many other things that I didn't realize they had instant versions of. And this, I believe I found this, I went to a little Polish deli, and they had this there, and I was like, okay, let's give it a go, right? So, super duper simple, just go over there, pour the water in, pour the boiling water in, let it sit for 5 minutes, but then you really have to mix it up because, interestingly, there's no sauce packet or anything like that. It's all at the bottom. And so you really have to stir it up to get the sauce going. Because initially I looked at it and I was like, did I just put water into noodles and I'm an idiot? But let's go ahead. Let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. Ha 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 ha. And yeah, I'm still eating it with chopsticks because that's what I had available and I didn't feel like fucking up a fork. Not terrible. It's not terrible at all. I'm actually surprised at the level of flavor they managed to get out of that. I mean, obviously, the main thing that you're getting from this is the sauce. The noodles are almost inconsequential. They're there for the carbs and, just the filling factor. But, I mean, when you think about it, the idea of having an instant version of this isn't anything that's all that shocking when you consider that, if you go over there and you make spaghetti or, most type of pastas or whatever, you just toss it in some water and let it do its thing. That's all you're doing in this instance. But the main thing, of course, is, again, just getting that sauce to a nice consistency and making sure that it's flavorful. And in that regard, I think for the most part they've succeeded. You can tell that it's pretty well seasoned. It has kind of a herbiness to it, so it's got a little bit of a freshness. It's got a, the tomato flavor isn't bad. It's a little bit, I won't say one note, but 1.5 notes. It's not exactly doing a lot of things, but one second, adorable hamster. But, how you doing, buddy? Where's my buddy? You like a treat, bud? Bet you'd like a treat. Who would like a treat? You'd like a treat. There you go. Yep. I have adorable hamsters, by the way, in case you didn't know. One of them was out and about, my little buddy Bernard, so I figured I'd give him a treat because he's a good boy. I'd show him to you, but he's eating his treat. Let him be. But anyway, going back to the review. What other review channels gives you hamster interruptions? Only the sampler platter. But no, like I said, I wouldn't say, it's not a complex sauce. It's obviously not like a super great sauce or anything, but there's a decent amount of flavor in there. Yeah, it's just, obviously given the format, it doesn't have the vibrancy, it doesn't have the complexity of like a proper tomato sauce. There's also, I think you can definitely, there's sort of like an element to it that I think you can sort of tell that it's been, like maybe rehydrated or whatever, because it doesn't, it almost has like kind of a mild dryness to it. But, again, it has a little bit of a bite to it. The tomatoey aspect of it isn't bad, and the herbiness is pretty good. Whoa! I do this right in front of a window in my back room, and a squirrel just came down out of nowhere. I don't even know where it could have made its way from. But yeah, maybe it wanted a treat too. But yeah, no, I mean that's not terrible. It's obviously you have to keep it within the context of the format that it's presented in, which is instant spaghetti. Does it work in that capacity? I'd say yeah, it does actually. It's not great. It's not anywhere near as good as like properly made spaghetti. Though I'll be honest, I've had actual spaghetti that's been worse. And yeah, okay, why not? Two questions have to be asked though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm gonna go with yes, and actually kind of yes. Not not huge endorsements on either end, but for me personally, I'm the type of person where I don't do a lot of cooking at home. I can cook a little bit here and there, but most of the time, man, I either go out to eat or if I do make stuff at home, it's simple stuff. Things I can pop in an oven or a microwave where I don't have to do a lot of extra, huff and guff to make it happen. I'm just not that type of person. I probably should be, but just not. So for me, the nice thing about this is that it adds another option to something that, after I get off a long day of work, maybe if I don't, feel up for the normal ramen stuff, this wouldn't be bad to have as an option. Granted, making spaghetti isn't terribly difficult in actuality, even I've managed to do it on one occasion, but this is obviously the even easier version of it. And so I like that it's there as an option, and even beyond being an option, it's pretty good tasting. Like I've had other instant noodles that I've liked significantly more than it, but I've honestly had a lot more that I prefer this to. So, it's not an upper tier instant eating thing, but it's still pretty damn good. And like again, for being what it is, the sauce and everything like that, it works pretty well. If I'm recommending it, so when it comes to doing the recommendations, like this is always the thing with the instant noodle stuff and all that, is who am I recommending it for? Oh, there goes my buddy Bernard. Yep, he's doing a little dig. Am I recommending it for people like me who just, can't be fucked? Or am I recommending it for people who can be fucked but like to have, just a quick option for different things? And I honestly think in both aspects, yes, because I think for people like me, again, it works in that it gives you something else to have in that cupboard, instead of just, the normal ramen stuff. And if I'm recommending it for, again, people who, don't really need it in their lives but like to have it as something, it works perfectly well. If you can get behind like instant ramen and, the normal stuff that, is a little bit more widespread here in America, there's no reason not to get behind this. It's just as simple to make. The flavor, again, is actually better than, some of the other ones. Granted, it did cost a little bit more. I think, when you think about like a thing of Maruchan, it's like 79 cents or something like that. This was like closer to $3. So there is that to take into account. But now, mind you, I don't know if I necessarily pay $3 for it all the time. But I've paid more for other instant ramens that I've liked less. So yeah, again, I can't give it a huge ringing endorsement, especially when, again, spaghetti itself isn't super hard to make. But as an option, I'm still going to say yeah. 5 things right out here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have themselves a truly spaghetti-tastic rest of your life. Because who doesn't like spaghetti? Spaghetti's good. I've even reviewed spaghetti on my channel. I did one from Jolly Bee, and I did one from a local Filipino restaurant called Marciana's Kitchen. Go watch those reviews. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal take on spaghetti? I know Mr. Oda Khaled, who is a very frequent commenter, longtime viewer of the channel, he actually just today, at the time I'm doing this, he asked me which I prefer on pasta dishes, marinara or Alfredo sauce. And I responded to him like, I don't actually have a preference in that regard. It depends on the dish. I like both for different things. But I'd be interested if any of you fine folks like have any strong opinions, or if you have a favorite spaghetti dish, or even just other pasta dishes and stuff like that. That's definitely, Italian cuisine is a cuisine that I want to get more into as I do more reviews. But we'll get to it. Bye.